Those bees up there sound kind of cranky. They're not, but they've just worked out they've had a total home makeover. Keep watching to find out why we were in a hurry to double the amount of space they had. Okay, I know I said we were going to build the bees a new beehive, and we will, but I want to take my time to do that properly. So we're going to be milling all our own timber for that, and we're going to take some time to make them a really nice new home. In the meantime, however, they are desperately running out of space. They've been living in the swarm catcher that we originally caught them in, and they've been expanding, and they need more room to grow, especially because we are approaching the winter months. So they're going to be busy little bees harvesting as many resources as they can to help them through those colder months when there's less things flowering. So in order to help them out, we're going to build them a little temporary home. This might have to last them the whole winter, so I want to give them at least double the space they're in right now. They are bringing in so much pollen right now. I'm going to try and zoom in and get a little look at them. What I want you to see is what we call their pollen pans. So on their back legs are tiny little fibrous hairs that they're sticking the pollen to, and you're going to get an idea of the kind of plants that they've been harvesting from. I know in our area at the moment there's a lot of sorghum growing, so there's definitely going to be pollen colours that reflect the bulk of what's growing in the area. So we've got them set up in a box that's basically a miniature version of the hive we're going to build. And the hive we're going to build is a Kenyan or a top bar beehive. So I've got 4 bars on this, that's all the space they've got. I know we must have a queen in there, otherwise they wouldn't have settled. And there'll be some brood, that is some baby bees, there'll be some honey resources, but I'm guessing by the activity that I'm seeing on the front entrance that they are probably out of space. Let's see if we can lift one of these bars and I'll have a little look inside. Glued this all nicely together. I'm hesitant to pull these bars off of this hive right now where it is. It's a little tricky, and bees use a couple of ways to hold their hive together. First of all, obviously there's the wax that they make into comb. Some of that comb is going to be attached to the sides of the box, and I need to be careful. If I lift the bar, which is free of the box, the comb might actually stay stuck to the box itself, and that's going to make a bit of a mess. Secondly, bees make a substance called propolis, and propolis is like a filler. It's a kind of a resiny glue type substance that they use for 2 things. Basically, it's to fill gaps in their hive to make sure that 1, nothing's going to get in that shouldn't get in, beetles, parasites, robber bees, all that sort of thing. And 2, it just helps with insulation. It fills in all the gaps. Alright, I know I've got some spare bars. Let's measure them up really quick and see what we'd need to put in place to hang them in there. Okay, awesome. I just had a little dig around in the shed and I found 6 more bars. They're only on 4 bars right now, so that's like a, 150% upgrade to their home. So we're going to end up with, I've got 6 plus I've got 4 up there. That's 10. Let's see, the 35 millimeters on average wide each. That's 350 mil. So 350 by, what did we say, 230. I know I have sawhorses somewhere. They'll be in a box. We haven't unpacked everything yet, so that's gonna have to do. We've already cut 3 out of the 5 pieces we need, the 6th being the bars on the top, and that forms the whole cube. So all we've got to work out are these tricky end pieces, because they're a kind of a, what do you call that, a parallelogram? No. Trapezoid. Trapezoid, look at that, me remembering like 2nd grade geometry. That hasn't worked. 300. All right, here is why buy a tape measure with millimeters on it. Oh man, I really liked this Trojan tape measure at first. Didn't even check it before I went and bought it, and it was centimeters. I've gone to measure 230, I've gone to 200, and then 30. I've measured 300. All right, it's easier to cut more off than it is to add more on. More on. Like I said, guys, rough as guts. but we're just gonna screw it together as best we can. The good thing is the bees are gonna fill in all the gaps for me, so it's not ideal. I'd like to give them a really nicely laid up and joined beehive, and that's coming, but for now, this will do. Look, as far as carpentry goes, don't hire me to build your kitchen. But if you want me to catch a swarm of bees, that should do the job. Oh, do you know what we haven't done? We haven't made an entrance. Let's give them an entrance. Okay, the way we're going to do this is a blank bar and then a full bar of comb, then a blank bar, then a full bar of comb, then a blank bar. So what we're going to have is these full bars of comb with blank spaces hanging between them that are the exact width that they will be able to operate in to create new comb, and they won't make any comb kind of skew-if or any weird patterns. If I was to put two blanks together, they may decide to make, you know, a whole stack of little mini combs and hang them down, joining those two together. We want these bars to be able to be pulled out one at a time as we're doing our inspections and our honey harvests. So we've got to get the bees to build according to our dimensions. Look, one of the things I love about this form of beekeeping is it really is a natural style of beekeeping, and it encourages the bees to make comb and a hive and a home in almost the exact same way that they would in nature. The all timber construction, the shape of it, the position where we put it in a tree or up high, for example, they're all natural ideas, but we've also got to deal with the reality that we are working with these bees and managing them, and it'd actually be more disastrous for me to be kind of messing with them every time I got in there and having to cut comb up into little bits and pieces. So if we can get the bees to build according to our straight lines, I know it's not exactly what they do in nature, but it will make kind of our relationship a little easier to manage. This is perfect actually, because I've got 4 bars up here and I've got 4 spaces right here. So that is actually just going to be perfect. The question is, are they going to let me pull them down and move them from one space to the next without getting cranky? All right, I'm going to get one more little stool so that we can do this little delicate operation. I'm going to give it a go. If they start to really arc up, or especially if I get a sting, we'll go and suit up and finish the process. Let's get a stool. All right, already I'm getting buzzed a little bit. Okay, girls. You're okay. You're okay. It's a new home. It's a brand new home. If you'll allow me, I'm going to really carefully and gently move you into your brand new home. Just see what they think about that day. There's going to be a natural response here from them. You know, like I could be a bear, like just ripping comb out of their tree. Let's see if I can just be really gentle. No sudden movements, absolutely no swatting. Oh, there we go, that one was nice and easy. Oh man. I gotta show you what's going on in here. Okay, so this is our existing swarm catcher. There was only enough room for 1, 2, 3, 4 bars, and they have absolutely maximized the space in there. So we're going to bring them across to this new space where we're going to get at least 9 bars on, and they are taking to this move like champions. All right, 2 more bars to go. Now remember, we want to put a blank bar next to an existing comb so that they will draw down comb in that next section as straight as possible. Oh, this one's a little bit stuck. Okay, I can already see what's going on. Yeah, we're gonna have a break here. I'm gonna have to go and get like a little paint scraper tool or a steel ruler. I don't know where my hive tool is. All my beekeeping gear is packed away. I've got to try and separate that comb. They've attached the honeycomb right to the edges of the box here. And if I pull up on that bar, the bar's gonna come up and the honeycomb's not gonna come with it. I think we're detached from, oh no, still a bit going on here. Yeah, I got a problem. There's no way I'm taking that comb off there. Without a breakage. If I try and lift this now, no. Totally detached it. All right, I think I'm really gonna need some gloves to do this. I don't like putting the suit on. Like I said, as much as possible, I like to be interacting with them. They're smelling me, they're sensing me, they're learning my shape, they're learning the sound of my voice, they're learning the smell of my breath. That's another story for another day. But I really just don't feel like I have a choice here. In order to pull that comb out, I've really got to get my hands in amongst it. The chance of a sting gets pretty high. And I'm not afraid of a bee sting though. They hurt, understandably. Yeah, look at that. Okay, this is the problem we've got. That's our breakage. I'm not afraid of a bee sting. It's that when they sting, that sting starts pumping out a little pheromone, a little chemical into the air around, and it's basically a targeting signal for the rest of the bees. So I think there's a pretty high chance that once I start to get my hands in there and try and manipulate this broken piece of comb out, that they're gonna get real cranky with me. So I'm gonna go and chuck a suit on real quick and we'll get this finished just as fast as we can. I hope you can hear me okay. I've probably covered up my mic. We're just going to do this bit as quick as we can. If my queen is in here, they may get even crankier. Okay. Alright, girls. Stay calm. Yeah, look, it was nicely attached along the sides there. And it's even more so attached at the bottom. So I'm going to lift this into place. All right. I do want to see if our queen's in here. Oh, here she is. Okay. I don't know if you're going to be able to see her. She's the bigger one there. Longer body, slightly dark. She's got some attendants that are going to be following around. So, all right, good news. We've got the queen, she's in. We've got lots of good brood. See all this brown here? That's capped brood. So that's baby bees, larvae. They're kind of growing away in there. So we're gonna call this operation a partial success. Yeah, nice. Alrighty. All the bees that were hanging around where they knew their entrance should be have just got really excited. I don't know if you heard that, like that raise in pitch of their buzz. We're gonna let things settle down just for a minute there. I think that's pretty securely balanced there. We've got a little bit of plastic coral on the top just to keep the rain off them. Gonna get out of this suit though. They're really chill. I mean, I've had bees before that, I mean, you don't even walk up to them without a suit on. Like, bees are like people. Some just have bad attitudes. Well, I really couldn't be happier with how that went. We've still got some bees in the old hive here, but they are literally just positioned directly below their new hive, and so they're gonna figure it out. They're gonna find their way up there. We have more than doubled this capacity now. So where we had 4 comb, we've now got 9, and each piece of comb represents around about 2,000 bees. So where we had, maybe 8,000 bees, and that's a pretty standard size swarm colony. What a swarm wants to do as soon as they find a new home. Hello, you. She was just checking me out then. What a swarm wants to do as soon as they find a new home, they want to start expanding. They want to start having babies of their own and build their family up in numbers, especially as they're heading towards winter. They really want to be harvesting as many resources as they can so that they can keep their family healthy and strong throughout those winter months. All right, well, I reckon that's as good a place as any to leave it. Those bees are busy picking out their new rooms, deciding where all the pictures are going to hang. So don't forget, like and subscribe. Oh, hey, you. All right, can you say like and subscribe? No. There's no Wi-Fi out here. How can they even watch YouTube?